Here's check on stories we're following for you on Robin Hood Radio. The situation at the North Canaan Elementary School, the report from Region 1, they completed contact tracing for 2 positive COVID-19 cases that reported at the North Canaan Elementary School community. Those cases, one of them is a student in middle school and is symptom-free. The other, an individual who never entered the school and had no contact with students or staff. And based on the evaluation information by the Torrington Area Health District and their medical advisor, the risk of infection to other students or staff was low due to the mitigation strategies in place at the school. Out of an abundance of caution, though, they'll be closing 5th and 6th grade classes for North Canaan Elementary School for 14 days until Wednesday, November 4th. 5th and 6th grade students may return to school for in-person learning on Thursday, November 5th. The 5th and 6th grade students will begin distance learning today, continuing through Wednesday, November 4th. Classroom teachers will be in contact with families in those grades with regard to login and scheduling information. Election Day is a little more than a week away, but in Red Hook, the polling site has been changed back to the Bard campus. Judge Maria Rosa on Friday ordered the town of Red Hook District 5 polling site moved from the Episcopal Church of St. John, the Evangelist to Bard College's Bertelsmann Campbell Center, in response to concerns voters would not be able to adequately social distance at the church. The decision is a reversal of the October 13th ruling that the site could not be changed. She cited an affidavit from County Republican Elections Commissioner Eric Haight, advising that altering plans could confuse the district's voters after the Board of Elections the following day opted to move the site for Red Hook's districts 7 and 8. So that means District 7 and 8, Red Hook polling site has been moved to the Bard campus. In Stockbridge, New York, the highway superintendent was placed on a 1-week administrative leave last week after the town administrator raised concerns about his disappointing job performance. Responding to town administrator Michael Canale's recommendation to terminate the man, the select board instead voted 3-0 to place him on leave with pay, pending further consultation with the town council. In Sandusfield, Massachusetts, a town man with a long history of sex crimes against minors, including a recent stalking charge in Connecticut, is now facing firearms charges after police found a sawed-off shotgun in his home. Brian Homan, 65, arraigned after police found a weapon while investigating a possible sexual assault at his home. According to the report, he was released from jail 5 days later after posting $2,500 at the initial $15,000 bail. During the search of his home, police said they found the gun on the floor and an unlocked closet without mechanical lock or other safety device. They also say they found a single round of 16-gauge shotgun ammunition at the home. Holman, whose conviction stretched from the Berkshires to the UK, was arrested again for allegedly stalking a Winston, Connecticut teen in August. He's currently held on $250,000 bond in that case. In Cornwall, a heated exchange over the issue of connectivity took place at the start of a recent Board of Selectmen's meeting. Caroline Nastro appeared before the board to lodge a complaint about the town's Internet Expansion Committee, saying it operates as an arm of the grassroots Northwest Connecticut ECT group and its advice should be taken with a grain of salt. She claimed the committee is paid by Northwest Connecticut ETT. Gary Stankel, chairman of the local committee, took offense at those allegations, saying over the last many weeks he's allowed her to make comments. Quote, she's continued to spread misleading information and disinformation. There's almost no factual basis, and I urge the Board of Selectmen to disavow and discount what she's saying. Folk singer Arlo Guthrie, whose anti-war epic Alice's Restaurant Massacre put on Berkshire County on a new musical map in 1967, said last week he no longer will tour, ending a half-century of live performances. The news came not in a tweet, but a highly personal 1,100-word post to Guthrie's Facebook page in which he disclosed that he has suffered strokes that affect his ability to perform. With Halloween fast approaching, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has issued guidance for those celebrating to do so without risk of being infected with COVID-19. The governor had previously said he would not deter people from trick-or-treating this year, but after the Center for Disease Control and Prevention deemed the activity high risk last month, Cuomo, in concert with the State Department of Health, issued guidelines to be followed for those celebrating Halloween. There are low and moderate risk Halloween activities such as carving pumpkins, low risk, and one-way trick-or-treating, where individually wrapped treat bags are lined up in a grab-and-go fashion, a moderate risk according to the CDC. But there are various high-risk conditions the CDC in the state does not want you taking advantage of. The Stissing Center in Pine Plains has been selected as the Pine Plains polling location for Election Day. It's moved from the smaller town hall to the main floor of the Stissing Center. It meets all ADA access requirements and provides accessible lifts at the front of the building. In Cornwall, First Selectman Gordon Ridgway said there'll be no town-sponsored Halloween party at Town Hall this year because of COVID-19. He said the Park and Recreation Commission is working with Cornwall Consolidated School to see about holding some sort of celebration. Taking a look at the meetings in the various towns this week, Sheffield Select Board has a meeting that comes up today at 11:30 this morning at Town Hall. Coming up today in Salisbury, the Planning and Zoning Commission meets at 6:30. Tonight in Cornwall at 7 o'clock, the Zoning Board of Appeals via Zoom. Town of Kent Inland Wetlands Commission is meeting tonight at 7 o'clock. It is via Zoom. Kent Park and Recreation Commission Halloween Bash Subcommittee working meeting will be held on Tuesday. It is a Zoom meeting. Sharon Board of Selectmen regular meeting will be held October 27th at 5:30 in person and via Zoom. The Regional School Middle Athletics and Activities Committee meeting is being held. It's comprised of towns of Representative Canaan, Cornwall, Kent, North Canaan, Salisbury, and Sharon on Wednesday, a 6 o'clock Zoom conference call. Meeting information at the website. October 28th, Dover Town Board has their regular meeting at the Town Hall. That begins at 6:30. The ABC Committee meeting in Region 1 on the 28th is a Zoom conference call that will take place at 7 p.m. In other activities around our tri-state region, flu shots are available coming up on the 28th from 9 to 3 at the Salisbury Visiting Nurse Association headquarters, 38 Salmon Kill Road in Salisbury. Outside, weather permitting, you're asked to please wear a mask. Dover Town Board regular meeting will be held on the 28th at Duncan Hill Road in Dover Plains. Stockbridge Library coming up on Thursday at 4 p.m. cartooning workshop for Halloween, and Friday at 5 p.m. the 10th annual Pumpkin Walkabout. Chris Whipple, New York Times bestselling author, journalist, and documentary filmmaker, will share what he has learned from the nation's 12 living directors of the CIA as part of the Hotchkiss Library's book signing 2.0 series. His talk about the book The Spy Masters will take place October 29th at 8 p.m. on Zoom. Sharon Daycare's virtual silent auction. If you haven't sent your bid in yet, the email address is sharondaycare@hotmail.com. Items will be available to bid on until Friday, October 30th. Email your bids to sharondaycare@hotmail.com. You'll be contacted the week of November 2nd if you had a winning bid, and arrangements for payment and receipt of the item will be confirmed. Pine Plains Evergreen Cemetery Lantern Tour for 2020, where you can see history of Pine Plains brought to life, put on by the Pine Plains Free Library and the Little Line Partners Historical Society on Friday. Relive the history of Pine Plains. More information at pineplainslibrary.org. Berkshire Bach, Baroque Music in the Berkshires, presents on Saturday, October 31st at 3 o'clock. James Bagwell, choral conductor, Renee Ampley-Lepret, organ, and George Stauffer, a Bach scholar. And they're talking about Bach's Moets. That's at the Meeting House, Main Street in Housatonic, Massachusetts. Sharon Fire Department Ambulance Squad cordially invites the community to help light up the Sharontown Green by purchasing luminaries in honor to family members, friends, loved ones, and to remember those we've lost. Purchases of these lights of love will help the Sharon Ambulance Squad raise funds for a new ambulance. Luminaries will be sold for $10 each. All orders must be placed by November 1st. Contact Sharon Ambulance for more information. Our business brief is underwritten by Morgan's at the Interlaken, interlakenin.com, also on Facebook, and by Salisbury Bank, salisburybank.com. Dow Jones Industrial Average starts off the week at 28,335.57, the New York Stock Exchange at 13,199.86, and the NASDAQ at 11,548, the S&P 500 at 3465.39. We'll take a look at the tri-state forecast. That'll come your way in just a few moments.